Welcome to the latest episode of the Seafood News Weekly Roundup Show, brought to you by Urner Barry's Comtel. I'm your host and seafoodnews.com editor Michael Ramsing, and we welcome you to the new year. We hope you all had a great holiday season. We are looking forward to another year of delivering all the most pertinent seafood market information to help you make better business decisions in 2017. On a personal note, I'm also very upset on the loss Penn State recorded to USC during the Rose Bowl, but let bygones be bygones, and it was a good game. As for today's show, we'll hit the ground running as our first top story of the year recaps the FDA's seafood refusal figures from all of 2016. But first, we'll start off the program with more news out of the embattled West Coast Dungeness crab fishery, whose fishermen remain tied up since going on strike before the new year. The latest reports from the industry confirm that fishermen and processors in Oregon have returned to the state-supervised negotiating table, where the two sides hope to hash out an ex-vessel price for the harvest. Pacific Seafood Group issued its first official statement about the matter this week, saying that they are confident that the two sides will be able to settle on a price. Industry sources say Pacific Seafood has been behind the recent drop in prices paid to the fishermen. Reports indicate that processors were offering fishermen $2.75 per pound for their crab, which is a quarter less than prices that were loosely negotiated between the two sides in early December. In some other fishery news out of the West Coast, trawlers are anxious to rebuild the lost rockfish market in the U.S., and a new exempted fishing permit could make that happen in February. The permit would eliminate the selective flatfish trawl gear requirement and provide fishermen with more flexibility to design their gear for catching pelagic rockfish, which is a highly marketable and favored seafood on the West Coast. Meanwhile, in some company news, it didn't take very long for shrimp to make headlines in 2017, since Red Lobster kicked off the year with its big Festival of Shrimp promotion. Guests will be able to choose from among Red Lobster's 6 new and classic shrimp dishes priced at $15.99. But what's interesting about this particular promo is how it's featuring wild-caught red shrimp from Argentina. In November, we first reported about Red Lobster's decision to add red shrimp to its offerings. It was the first time in many years that Red Lobster had featured any wild shrimp on its menu. We learned from the Consumer Frozen Seafood Show in Spain from last fall that demand for red shrimp from Argentina has grown in the U.S. market. The fishery's output was expected to increase 10,000 metric tons in 2016, while U.S. imports pulled from Urner Barry's foreign trade data show how shipments of peeled shrimp from Argentina to the U.S. have more than doubled in 2016 compared to year-ago levels. Also reported this week was salmon data from InfoTrade that showed how higher prices have offset declines in Chilean salmon exports by volume. Chilean salmon shipments through November are down 14% compared to 2015, but the value of those shipments is up over 3.5%. InfoTrade shows a 20% increase in the per kilogram price of salmon that's totally offset any decline in volume. It's worth noting that Urner Barry's Farm Salmon Index is trending at a 10-year high as of December and up a full $2 per pound compared to 2015. Remember, subscribers to Urner Barry's full suite of seafood market information services get all these stories, market quotations, analysis, and more from around the industry every day. As for today's top story, the FDA's overall seafood rejection rates in 2016 finished the year up 10% compared to the 2015 total. According to the data, which is available on Urner Barry's foreign trade data, the FDA rejected 1,909 line items of seafood. On average, the administration rejected about 160 line items per month. Mahi emerged as the most rejected seafood item in 2016, with rejections 3.5 times higher from 2015 and more than double the amount of refusals for this product on average in the last 5 years. Now, we previously reported on the FDA's higher rate of refusals through 2016. We said that the higher rate of rejections was most likely to result of the FDA's commitment to inspect more imported seafood for the year. This bore out in the data, since refusals for tuna, snapper, and lobster were also significantly higher to go along with Mahi. Filth appeared to be on the FDA's radar all year, as it accounted for 65% of all seafood refusal reasons. Over 80% of Mahi rejections alone were because of filth. One bright spot to make mention of is with shrimp, which refusals were down 55% from 2015 and 40% from the 5-year average. It looks like shrimp was the exception to higher refusal rates, at least partially because last year's refusals were artificially high from a transshipping issue with Malaysian imports. That problem was rectified in late 2015, and shrimp refusals actually improved from historical data. Now that concludes our report for today. This show was presented to you by Urner Barry's Comtel. Gain access to the wholesale seafood industry's top platform for market quotations, news, and expert commentary. Traders in the wholesale seafood market make a better business decision every day when they use Urner Barry's Comtel. Remember, you can always tell us how we're doing on Twitter by tweeting at us at SeafoodComNews and at UB Seafood, and you can also like Urner Barry and Seafood News on Facebook to learn more about what we're up to. You can also listen to Urner Barry on your mobile device through our Market Digest and Seafood News podcast series. In our latest podcast episode, you can listen to us discuss the West Coast Dungeness crab strike in more detail, so give that a listen. For Urner Barry and Seafood News, I'm Michael Ramsing. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.